Right, so Baby Reindeer is a Netflix show about Richard Gadd and his life. And it shows writer producers grooming him, graping him. Got to put the G in front of it. Pretty disgusting stuff. And then, of course, this rotund individual here, Martha, as a stalker. You'd be hard pressed to believe it's true events, but apparently it's all true. It says, true events, etc., etc. And then because they didn't really make a massive, I mean, they kind of did hide. They did hide identities. They didn't name anyone. But because it apparently was easy for people to find the identities out of the individuals being dramatized in this show, so the real life groomer, graper, Russell T Davies is annoyed at that. People found it out. What's in your closet, mate? I know you're out the closet, but what have you left in there? What skeletons are left in your closet? Russell T Davies.
Somebody's going to have to explain to me what a baby reindeer is.
It's a show, mate. Always be concerned when someone has an issue with other people being outed as groomers and grapers, because there's always something afoot, I think. So like I said, yeah, Tom, Baby Reindeer is a show. It's a Netflix show. You should watch it, actually. You might like it. It's a good show. I enjoyed it for what it was. So basically, Russell T Davies, Doctor Who fame, the latest apparently there's more. The latest, there's more of them, high-profile TV industry figure to criticize Netflix for allowing real-life Baby Reindeer characters to be identified online. It's not exactly their fault. They didn't allow them to be identified. People just identified them. So Davies said, what did he say? So, okay. So in an interview with The Times, Doctor Who writer said the BBC would have been much stricter with editorial compliance processes had it shown Richard Gadd's hit Stalker series. Davies, who has extensive experience working with the BBC and probably groomers, executive producer on Doctor Who, said compliance and editorial policy drives us mad here, but I sleep at night knowing your skeletons are still in your closet, I'm sure. So since Baby Reindeer premiered last month, Gadd's alleged stalker, known as Martha in the series, has been identified as Fiona Harvey. Others have been wrongly accused amid rampant online speculation. So Benjamin, I like this, Netflix standing by it. Netflix UK senior public policy director said on Wednesday that the streamer and producer Clerkenwell Films took every reasonable precaution in disguising the real-life identities of the people involved in that story. Ultimately, it's obviously very difficult to control what viewers do, particularly in a world where everything is amplified by social media. I personally wouldn't be comfortable with a world in which we decided it was better that Richard was silenced and not allowed to tell the story. So I do really like the fact that they just sort of flipped it on its head there. There you go. What's he got in his closet? It's a bit weird, isn't it? Why are you coming out against it? What's going on? Bo, we'll get your opinion on this first, because I told you this one in advance, so I thought you'd enjoy this one.
Yeah, I mean, Russell T Davies. Won't somebody please think of the sex criminals in this? The poor sex criminals that might be outed. Yeah, it's weird, it's disgusting, it's perverse. Yeah, what a weirdo take. If you needed any more reason to loathe Russell T Davies, I mean, look at him. What a slug of a human being. It's like why would you do it? Yeah, people that sorry if I said too much.
I love it. It's brilliant. You keep doing it. This is like your tweets to people, but in podcast form. Like, you slug.
He is. It's repulsive. It's almost like a spitting image, like a Jim Henson creation to be revolting. What goes through his mind? What goes through any of these people's minds where they're worried about the perpetrators of like the worst type of sex crime imaginable? It's just weird. It's just weird. But I suppose that's sort of the world we live in, don't we? Where things are upside down. Things have been inverted or perverted, where like in America, it's not just America, but like DAs just letting people commit crimes, just like theft is okay and stuff, and you could be a full violent felon repeatedly, and you get let out. The similar things happen in Britain, and that's okay. You've got to think about the criminal. The criminal's well-being comes first. Yeah, I mean, we live in a crazy time, and of course,
don't deport the serial rapist back to the place because he raped people back there, and he might be persecuted. Yeah, good.
Yeah, please. Good. Yeah, that'd be nice. Yeah, there'd be some justice, because you're not going to get any in the West. Yeah. No, Russell T Davies is out of his mind.
Well, known collaborator with the BBC, awful company, known protector of necrophiliac, alleged necrophiliac, Jimmy Savile. So,
more than that, sorry, just to say, Nate, super quick, there's a whole paedophile ring in the BBC, and they can't get me for libel for saying anything like that. It's a matter of record. But there's essentially a paedophile ring that the BBC was involved in perpetrating.
Disgusting.
I can I also add? Didn't you guys just have the disgraced news? You call them presenters. Hugh Edwards get busted.
Yeah. I mean his sex crimes are relatively mild compared to Jimmy Savile, but still, there's a whole load of wrong-uns at the heart of the BBC. I don't mind saying.
So, anyone that associates with that place, Russell T Davies, look in his closet. Them skeletons. Culture. What do you reckon about? Have you anyone else watched Baby Reindeer here? I'm probably not.
I have not.
I kept seeing it. I didn't ever click on it.
It's worth watching.
I believe you.
Quick, breezy, 7 episodes. They're like 20 minutes, half hour, 40 minutes. They're breezy. They're good.
Okay, I'll check it out. I hadn't clicked on it because I didn't have any background on it. Sounds like it's worth a conversation or a look. So fair enough.
And Russell T Davies, perhaps anything about?
I'm not a big fan of him. I think he's absolute scum. I wish I had the eloquence of Bo to describe his lack of attributes. But he's just the worst. I mean, look what he did to Who. I mean, we're not even properly into the season yet. Look what he did to Who.
No, that releases Saturday, doesn't it? If I remember rightly.
Coming up,
yeah. I mean, look, physiognomy is a thing. It is a real thing.
It never lies.
Russell T Davies, you look at him and then you hear him and then you listen to the things that he's saying. You're like,
his physiognomy. Earthworm Jim's really let himself go.
My.
Oh dear. Nick,
that's an insult to Earthworm Jim.
Yeah.
I personally don't know much about him or the series or anything, but from everything I've heard from this space about Doctor Who and the direction it's going and crap that's happening in that show, like nothing this guy says or does would surprise or shock me. He seems like a complete weirdo creep guy. Like one of those people that, if he moved into your neighborhood, you'd probably be getting a notification that they're a sex offender just, moved in next door or something. You'd get that notice in the mail. He's creepy.
You may not get that in Los Angeles though, because right now they're letting people of,
that's right. I heard about that.
Yeah. They're just letting them go. Bye then.
Tom.
I don't even know who this guy is really, and I don't care, and I'm glad. Because he does seem like a queerdo, and I don't want him anywhere near me.
Wow, easy, Batman.
Fair enough.
I made that word up, so we can do.
I like it. We should trademark it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Queer Day.
TM.
It's queer and weirdo mixed together, okay? And if they want to argue with it, it'd be like, no. See, I'm saying the word queer is fine. I'm saying you're a fucking weirdo, and you're acting kind of queer, so you're queerdo.
Yeah, I liked it. I'm gonna have to steal that from you, Tom.
Tom invented a word.
Yeah.
I've been using that for a while. People haven't picked up on it, but yeah.
Weird.
I like it a lot.
Weird.
But there we go. Always be a bit suspect over these people. Always. There's something going on there. Physiognomy checks out. It checks
Well,
out.
yeah, like, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, as far as like the actual story itself, like, if you're on a list, it's probably for a fucking reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you're somebody who's afraid of these lists getting out, then maybe that says more about you.
Yeah.
As you guys were saying. So, you know, doth protest too much, I think is the old Shakespearean quote.
Yeah. In
Yeah,
today's
but-
age and time, anything you
Something
say or
close to that, Bo. You'll have to help me out on that one.
Yeah, the lady doth protest too much. Yeah, it
Yeah.
speaks volumes. It speaks volumes if you're worried about the well-being and identities of sex criminals. I mean, what is that? It's like when people, you know, what was that? The Innocence Project, where they try and get people that have done the worst type of crime, murders and things, and it's they went through the courts and they were found guilty. In some cases, it's a slam dunk. They absolutely were guilty, and they try and get them off still. It's like, what does that say about your sort of your what's deep inside you, your sense of
Keir
right and
Starmer.
wroong, your sense
Keir
of
Starmer did
ethics?
that, didn't he?
Oh yeah, oh god, Keir Starmer's record as at the CPS, the Crown Prosecution Service, England's version of the Justice Department, is absolutely just looking out for the best interests of the criminal at every turn.
Right.
Mad, wrong.
Well,
At odds with civilization itself, really.
Yeah. Yeah, it is just a strange occurrence. Because really, the whole reason for those kind of lists isn't anything to shame the individual anyway. It's to let people know, if you have children, you may want to watch out. Because guess what? There's a reason for that. Because most of these criminals relapse.
Yeah, recidivism is quite high.
Yeah, and they can't even argue that.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I was pretty sure it was the lady doth protest too much. Thank you for that. And yeah,
Shall we
changed it to
shall
be
we shuffle on to something
Indeed.
something a bit more upbeat now?